It's time for college basketball. ESPN3 is here at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin, as number 12 Wisconsin entertains Bowling Green. Hi again, everyone, with Rich Sabozic. This is BJ Shaven. Rich, what an intriguing matchup we have for everyone tonight. The MAC versus the Big Ten. You know, and these two teams are very young. And in fact, they are a lot different from where they were a year ago.
Two teams who are trying to find their identity. Bowling Green graduated their top two scorers. Wisconsin graduated three key players. So the ceiling is very high for both squads as they gain experience throughout the season.
Well, as we look at tonight's one-on-one, not only do they look different, but they're getting wins in different ways.
Bowling Green is rebuilding with defense. In their opening contest, they set a school record for steals. They got two shot blockers that protect the rim. Cameron Black, who is number 6 all-time shot blocker, and Rashawn Holmes, who set a school record for block shots a year ago. Wisconsin, they spread you. They're playing a little faster for a Bo Ryan team. 68 possessions each game, 6 more than their previous high. They got 5 guys who can shoot the free on the floor at all times.
Well, let's look at tonight's starting lineups for Bowling Green. Just one starter from last year's starting lineup is there, and that would be Cam Black. He's joined by Anthony Henderson, Javon Clark, Rashawn Holmes, and Spencer Parker. Now for the Badgers, their starting 5. What a prolific group they have. And Russ, Jackson, Gosser, Decker, and Kaminsky, who's coming off of a 43-point game in which he set a school record for most points scored in a single game. Here's your officials tonight: Eddie Hightower, Larry Serrato, and Earl Walton. And this one is underway. The Badgers control it. And Rich, so far this season, everyone has been kind of scratching their head. The Badgers are putting up a lot of points, but they're being very efficient with each possession.
They're taking care of the ball, but the key is right there. Frank Kaminsky, a 5-man who can score inside and out.
So on the drive, that's Jackson in the lane, and he'll have it taken away by the Falcons. And here comes Bowling Green, and right to the hoop. Henderson overshot it. And right back at it, Gosser. Kaminsky. Boy, he has drawn a lot of headlines and the attention of the opponents. Not so much last year and the first part of this season, but look at Frank Kaminsky go. As he gets the Badgers out to the early lead here, Wisconsin wearing their home whites, Bowling Green, and their away orange uniforms. Henderson hits a 15-footer. A tough shot will tie this one up at 2. Inside, looking to work with it is Gosser. The fade. Pretty shot. And Wisconsin takes a 2-point lead. So Wisconsin racked up a 103-85 win against North Dakota earlier this week to improve to 4-0. They've got a lot of games, Rich, in a lot of days. As Bowling Green comes right back with an answer with Cameron Black.
Cameron Black, who's more noted for his defensive prowess, has to step up on the offensive end for Bowling Green to have a successful season this year.
Here's Decker, just recently named to the Naismith and Wooden Award watch list. Jackson will take it to the hoop. And the rebound comes down to Rashawn Holmes. Bowling Green shooting well from the field, but missed a couple of key opportunities there. Still a tie game here at 4-apiece. Now Decker will put it on the floor. Draws contact, and we'll have an and-one opportunity here.
This is because of great spacing. All 5 guys outside the three-point line. Decker showing his ability to put it down with his left hand.
A lot of people have been talking about Frank Kaminsky, and rightfully so, after the North Dakota game the other night, scoring 43, but also having a big night that night was Sam Decker. Decker actually tied a career high with 19 points in that game and had a terrific outing there, and he's off to a fast start here as the Badgers have a 3-point lead. Wisconsin shooting a sizzling 75% so far from the field. Bowling Green, just 2 of their first 5. Down on the block with Black, working on Kaminsky, goes over the 7-footer. Here's Gosser, takes it right to the hoop, and came up short. Here come the Falcons. Boy, good transition passing there. As Craig Seeley, who just checked into the game, gets the quick hoop.
And Bowling Green shows a little pressure after the make, forces the turnover. Coach Orr had told us before the game they were going to be opportunistic in transitions. They didn't want to push the ball all the time, but anytime they had numbers, take it to the rim, they got an easy one on that last possession.
Coach Orr is on his 7th season at Bowling Green. His son, Chauncey, was expected to be into the lineup here tonight, but he is out. Again, with a sore right knee, will miss his 2nd straight game. Inside, pretty move there by Cameron Black. And look out, Bowling Green has a 1-point lead here at 8-7. Gosser will enter it. Now working hard on the block. As also in the game, Nigel Hayes, the freshman out of Toledo, Ohio. And Wisconsin back out in front by 1 here. Parker lost it, but retained by Seeley. Here's a deep shot by Clark. And Kaminsky will pull it down for the Badgers. That was the first 3 taken here by Bowling Green. Wisconsin has yet to hoist a 3. As we're nearly, or just over 4 minutes into this game.
Bowling Green read the scouting report well. No 3-point attempts. Force him to put the ball on the floor.
Jackson with the skip pass here to Kaminsky, and he'll be hand checked. And of course, with the new rules, they're going to call that a lot tighter. Black picks up the foul. So we've got a timeout on the floor. When we come back, Big Frank, his big night. We'll review it when we return. Years ago, Wilt Chamberlain set an NBA record by scoring 100 points as his Philadelphia Warriors defeated the Knicks 169-147. Tuesday night, in a feat almost as shocking, Frank Kaminsky entered the Kohl Center, boasting a career average of about 3.2 per game and a total of 26 for the season. Well, he excited the Kohl Center that night with a school record and a whole lot of fame thanks to his 43-point outburst in a 103-85 win over North Dakota. Kaminsky set the UW single-game record and a mark that has stood since 1965.
Now, he scored 43 points on 6 for 6 from the three-point line, and he's 7 foot. But here's the more amazing stat than 43 points. When he got home, turned on his phone, he had 207 text messages from his friends congratulating him on his feat.
That's a whole lot of time taken up on the data plan there. And in fact, the next day, he actually got a message from his father who was not here. His dad was actually watching the game out in Vegas, and Frank Jr. actually tries to make every home game as Trayvon Jackson lights it up with a three. Actually had a message for him was saying, don't get lazy. That's tough. Forget about it, move on, and don't get lazy. Wisconsin with their largest lead here at 12-8 as we're just getting things underway here at the Kohl Center. This is really the opening round of the Cancun Challenge. And slamming it home was Richaun Holmes, the junior out of Lockport, Illinois. As the Badgers also go to their bench too, Bronson Koenig is into the game. As Decker has it on the floor here. Koenig goes to Brust, and now Decker will reset with 10 on the shot clock. He'll fire up the three. And there's an offensive foul underneath the basket. This one going against Nigel Hayes. The freshman called for a shove. And the Badgers also going back to their bench as Kaminsky will check in. And out goes Decker with Bowling Green out on the floor here with Seeley, Clark, along with Holmes. And also out for the Falcons is Henderson and Parker. The Falcons looking for some additional scoring this year. A lot of it has been coming from Javon Clark, who's been averaging about 17 in his first two games. In fact, that's what he scored. 34 points on the year. Here's Clark on the drive. We ask for scoring and you get it, Rich.
You get it. Well, he was used to being the playmaker a year ago. And with guys like Crawford, who averaged over 15 points a game, now his role has changed.
Here's Hayes. And a foul here called against the Falcons. And this one goes against Craig Seeley. And that will be his first.
Remember the name Nigel Hayes, one of the best freshmen in the Big Ten this year. A young man out of Toledo, Ohio, actually offered by Ohio State, shunned the Buckeyes and decided to come to Wisconsin, even though his older brother had played football at Ohio State.
And the Buckeyes also going back to their bench. Back into the ball game here is going to be Josh Gosser as Hayes hits the free throw, and now he'll be spelled by Douye Dukin, the 6'9" junior out of Deerfield, Illinois. So a little bit of a different lineup here for the Badgers as they sport a 1-point lead here. Here's Clark. What pretty move as he cut to his left down the lane. And Clark now with 4 in the game. (14-13) Bowling Green shooting about 54% from the field. Wisconsin right at 5 of 8. And a lot of shot clock being burned off here tonight. Saw a jet of a game the other night with Wisconsin and North Dakota. Not so much here so far tonight as Russ puts up the shot and the rebound comes down to the Falcons. Clark leading the break will pull up from 14. Now here's Brust. And the rebound to the weak side goes to Anthony Henderson. Seeley in the lane. Reverse left short, got his own rebound.
Good decision by Clark to back it out. You want to control tempo, get what you want.
Clark, killer crossover, could not finish it. does this tempo favor, Rich?
It really favors Bowling Green at this point, just because they want to try and take the crowd out of the game, and they've effectively done that for the first 9 minutes.
From the top, there's a three. As Koenig puts it through. And the Badgers back out to a 2-point edge. Right now, Wisconsin from downtown is 2 of 4. And Bowling Green really valuing the basketball here. Have yet to turn it over as Seeley fires up the shot and nails one.
Basket by Seeley.
So Seeley getting his 4th point of the night. 3 players with 4 for Bowling Green. Of course, we mentioned Seeley. There's also Clark and also Black. Really balanced attack. As Kaminsky gets his 2nd bucket of the ball game. And Kaminsky now with 4 in the game. Wisconsin back up by a deuce. Jumper on the way, and it's through. Rashawn Holmes. Boy, Bowling Green putting on a display here for a team that's picked to finish 6th in the MAC East standings.
They have Wisconsin on their heels with their penetration.
Now here's Koenig. How about Bronson Koenig, the freshman from La Crosse, coming in and giving a spark offensively here for the Badgers. Parker trying to work it to the high post to Henderson. Holmes has the hot hand, and it continues as he uses the glass here, and we're tied at 20. So Rashawn Holmes with a big night here so far, as he's leading the Falcons here with 6. Trying to drive, and we got a foul here called. As trying to drive in there was Gosser. Foul here called on Bowling Green. Well, the Falcons, led by Rashawn Holmes, 6 points, just attacking the hoop. They've got this one tied up. We're tied at 20 with 9:44 to play here in the first half. As we've seen 4 lead changes, the score's been tied 6 times. In large part because of Bowling Green's ability to attack the hoop here.
Well, BJ, Wisconsin's staple has been interior defense, but Cameron Black is shredding it here with a follow-up dunk with no block out, and then Javon Clark just getting to the rim anytime he wants. I'd like to be a fly on the wall in that Wisconsin huddle right now, because Bowling Green is getting anything in the paint that they want, and Bo Ryan is not very happy when that happens.
As you take a look at the points in the paint, the Falcons with the advantage there on Wisconsin. For Bowling Green, of course, they play in the Mid-American Conference in the Eastern Division. Of course, out of Bowling Green, Ohio. It was founded back in 1910. You see the enrollment. How about the notable alumni? Scott Hamilton and, of course, Oral Hershiser, among others.
Kenny Morrow, New York Rangers, Miracle on Ice.
There have been a lot of them. And, of course, Coach Orr, with his own story, of course, played college basketball at Syracuse, and he was the first ever recruit by Coach Jim Boeheim.
That's a pretty good first recruit.
Played a lot of years in the NBA. And, of course, was a head coach, too, also at Siena, Seton Hall. And as we had mentioned earlier, his 7th year here at Bowling Green, tied at 20.
Bowling Green doing an excellent job of playing containment defense.
From the corner, that's Decker.
Of course, BJ, just as I say that, they get beat off the dribble. And Decker on the kick.
Well, the Badgers shooting 64% from the field, 9 of 14. 3 of 5 from downtown now. Back to work with the Falcons here. Greg Seal, who hadn't played much entering this game here tonight, has 4 as Henderson shot. Can't get the magical roll in. And here come the Badgers. Now the deep 3. And the rebound comes down to Bowling Green's J.D. Tisdale, the freshman out of Flint, Michigan. He'll be at the point. Tries to lob it in, and a foul here called against Josh Gossard. As trying to post up was Cameron Black.
I like the freshman's intentions. He recognized the mismatch, went right to it, drew the foul.
And the Badgers also going to their bench for Coach Bo Ryan. Ben Brust will come into the ball game. And also back in is Nigel Hayes, who had some good minutes here early on. Now here's Tisdale in the paint. How about the freshman taking it up strong? Had been averaging about 5.5 per game. Now gets into the scoring column here and puts his team within 1 here at 23-22. The game earlier this week for Wisconsin, they were actually tied at 18 apiece against North Dakota. Then they went on a big run to end the first half. Part of that run was mixed in the first half was an 18-4 mark. Here's Decker's shot. It's off the mark, and the rebound to Tisdale. J.D. will pull up from 13. Now we start to see the track meet here. Decker draws contact and the N1 opportunity here.
That is what Coach Orr did not want to see.
We've got a timeout on the floor. 7:40 to play here in the first half. Sam Decker bringing some offense. He's got his team out in front. The Badgers have a 3-point lead here with 7:40 to play in the first half. Sam Decker leading the way for Wisconsin, scoring 8. And Coach Bo Ryan knows that home court, yeah, it's very tough if you're an opponent. How about this? His career win percentage here at the Kohl Center. Right at 91%, and of course he's won 182 home games. That's the most in the Big Ten. And you know, if you're an opponent and you're unranked, there's a 7% chance you have an opportunity here to walk away with a W. That's pretty tough.
How's the song go? There's no place like home.
Right.
There's no place like home.
Coach Ryan, when he took over the position, you know, a lot of people were scratching their head, but they haven't been scratching since. It's been all easy. Not so easy for Coach Ryan, but he's never had a team that's finished lower than 4th in the Big Ten Conference standings. And right now the officials are trying to review a Sam Decker 2- or 3-point shot. So that's kind of the holdup here at the Kohl Center as they take a look at it at the scores table. And for Coach Ryan, you know, how has he built this program, Rich, to be so successful?
You know, he did it the same way at the Division III level. Won 4 national titles at Wisconsin Platteville. And I can remember doing one of their games about 5 or 6 years ago, and I went to shoot around, and he's doing the shooting game. And here we can kind of see the review of whether he was on the line or not.
They are going to keep it at 3 as there was not enough evidence to overturn that. So Sam Decker will remain with 8 points and looking to make it 9 here. And here's a player that has scored in double figures in 13 of his last 16 games dating back to last season.
He's a guy who was really helped by their Canadian trip earlier this year. A highly recruited player coming out of high school, deferred last year to some of the upperclassmen, but this year is going to be looked upon to be the team leader, at least from a scoring standpoint.
The Badgers with a 4-point advantage as they're working inside to Black, trying to work against the freshman here. This one's up for grabs, and Tisdale comes down with it. He's caught up in traffic. Good hustle. Falcons up with it. Holmes just turned into an ugly possession there for Bowling Green, and Wisconsin comes up with a turnover. That's the first of the night for Bowling Green.
Bowling Green has done an outstanding job man-to-man, or now in their 2-3 zone, of closing out on 3-point shooters.
Here's Decker underneath. Now the shot up, and the rebound comes down to Bowling Green. That was Holmes who came away with it. And this one kicked. It will stay with Bowling Green. Out on the floor for Wisconsin, Frank Kaminsky will now check in along with Brust, Hayes, Jackson, and Decker. And checking out is Nigel Hayes. And also trying to check back into the game is Gossard. And for Bowling Green, it's Tisdale, Parker, Seeley, Clark, and Black. So inside of 6:30 to play here in the first half. 4-point lead here for the Badgers. Here's Clark. And a travel will be called as he passed it to himself. Nobody home there on the pass as he tried to hit the baseline.
Almost got away with that one. Larry Serrato made a good call there.
Well, the sizzling first half for Wisconsin. Again, they continue to do it from 3-point range, shooting right now at 43%.
Bowling Green back in the 2-3 zone again. Some people may question, why would you go into a zone? You'll give up a 3, but what you're trying to do is create something different. Wisconsin handles it with a little inside out.
Trayvon Jackson with the 3. You know, they were shooting at 43%. Now that percentage is starting to climb from beyond the perimeter. Right now at 50%, 4 of 8 for the season entering tonight. The Badgers had been shooting about 46%, which was tops in the Big Ten from the perimeter. Tisdale. Good drive and finish as he's able to find his teammate Cameron Black. And the lead now at 5.
For Wisconsin to try and pick the top. Pick him for a wide open 3.
So Frost able to connect on a 3. That's his first bucket of the ball game. As you take a look at the field goal numbers here so far, 5 of 9 for Wisconsin. And the offense is somewhat slowed down, or at least it's not keeping pace here for Bowling Green now, as the defense is tightened up for the Badgers. Here's Seeley, 17-footer wide of the mark, and here comes Gosser leading the point. And now Decker drives the baseline and will draw contact here. This foul will be going against Spencer Parker. That'll be his second.
Number 3, Parker, is second.
Wisconsin is playing at a quicker pace, but they're not in a hurry. And there's a big difference. And a lot of people will say, well, it's not the same old Wisconsin team, but you have different players than you had a year ago. You have guys like Decker who can put it on the deck. You have a 7-footer like Kaminsky who can stretch the defense and shoot the 3. So you're going to have a different identity on the offensive end. And right now they are being very efficient on the offensive end.
Here's Gosser running the point. You might notice his a brace on his left knee. Sat on all of last season after tearing his ACL in preseason workouts. Shot clock still running. It's inside of 20 as the Badgers hold on to the possession here. Kaminsky in the lane. He just parted the sea right there as he hit the middle. Wisconsin now on an 11-2 run, and a timeout taken here by Coach Moore. And Bowling Green, a 10-point advantage here for the Badgers.
Wisconsin can hurt you in so many different ways. Kaminsky, 6 for 6 from the 3. Now the 7-footer draws it and gets to the rim. Led by Trayvon Jackson, a little behind the back. BJ, I got to tell you, I watched practice yesterday, and the way they run their practice, all the players are interchangeable. So when they do their ball handling drills, their 7-footers, their post guys are all doing the ball handling drills, and you can see it personified on a play like that.
Frank Kaminsky, we talked about his record night earlier this week, but player with a lot more determination. It seems that way out on the floor, but you know, he's always been trying to overthink it or overdo it, according to his mom. In fact, his mom said that he really overanalyzed games and he just needed to settle down. Well, he's now starting to, I guess, let the game come to him. It's kind of tough for players to do that, isn't it, Rich?
You're talking about a very cerebral kid, and sometimes you do get paralysis by analysis, but I think after the North Dakota game, I don't think that'll affect him the rest of the season.
Here's Seeley. And the rebound comes down to Wisconsin. Duke. Kaminsky. Off the mark, and the rebound to Bowling Green. Trying to drive it, and the Falcons unsuccessful. And now they'll reset here with Jackson. Jackson again behind the back to Kaminsky, going one-on-one here. Draws the double, tries to pass out of it. Last touch by Bowling Green, and that'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. We've got 3:04 to play here in the first half. Wisconsin starting to hit their stroke. They've got the 10-point advantage. 10-point lead here for Wisconsin, 34-24 with 3:04 left. The Badgers really taking control of this one here in the first half thanks to their three-point shooting.
Ball movement collapses the defense. Draw them in, kick it out, inside out with Kaminsky and Koenig. Then the kick to Decker for the three. And inside out again, Jackson buries it. Great ball movement creates tougher, longer runs for the defensive player, thus giving Wisconsin wide open looks.
See, the Falcons have yet to hit a trade. Wisconsin right at 50%. They have 6 players entering tonight's game that have been shooting 39% or better from the perimeter. In fact, they were led by Frank Kaminsky with 64% from the arc. And for those of you tuning in to see where his scoring total is at tonight, of course 43 the other night, so far tonight just 6, 3 of 4 from the field. More balanced attack though by Wisconsin here tonight, being led by Sam Deckers, 9 points. A lot of ball movement here by Wisconsin. Out of their 13 field goals, 7 have came from an extra pass as Jackson draws contact, no basket. It was on the floor. And that one will be going against Javon Clark, his first. So now Wisconsin is into the bonus, the single bonus here for now.
I've got to throw out a number to you, BJ. 1.36. That's how many points per possession Wisconsin is scoring right now. That is a phenomenal number. And Coach Ryan's not a big stats guy, but one of the stats he leans on is offensive efficiency. And they've had 25 possessions and are now coming into the game, they 1.17, so they're way above that number.
Now on a 13-2 run here for Wisconsin. They've got a 36-24 lead. So you're throwing a little money ball at us, huh? For college basketball?
Great screen-to-screener action for Bowling Green. That is a little money ball there.
Is it all about point per possession then, huh?
It is. It is for Wisconsin. And what opponents are going to have to do this year is try and keep pace with their offensive output, which is much different for the Badgers than it has been the last few years.
Dukin from the top. Dukin, his first bucket of the ball game.
That's what we talked about. 5 3-point shooters on the floor at all times. Space the floor and make the defense chase you.
Now 8 players have scored here for Wisconsin. And the Badgers have that 13-point advantage. Here's Cam Black. Tough hook shot.
Black's having a heck of a first half. Unfortunately, you can't trade 3 for 2 every possession.
Dukin again open. Trying to bring the Grateful Red a little bit more into this ball game. Of course, the student section. Wisconsin basketball very popular here in Madison. That student section sold out in less than 2 hours this year. And a foul here called against Wisconsin. And Kaminsky will pick up his first. So Dukin will check out. Sam Decker is back in. Also Bronson Koenig back into the ball game here for Wisconsin. And Gosser will check out. 39-28. Badgers with the advantage. Shooting 56% from the field, 50% from three-point range. Now for Bowling Green, not bad numbers. 14 of 29. Here's Cam Black. Looks to work on Kaminsky. Now the 3 by Clark. And Brust will come down with the rebound. Now Kaminsky working with it. See, 8 different players have scored. There's Brust. He'll check into the scoring column again. He now has 6 in the game. And the Badgers continue to pull away here. steal by Jackson. 2-on-1 opportunity. Trayvon to the rack. Now back the other way.
Time and score. Don't take a quick one.
And the Falcons do, and a timeout taken here by Bo Ryan.
Wisconsin.
17 seconds to play here in the first half. The Badgers take a timeout. Boy, different tale here for Bowling Green at the beginning of the first half to where we're at right now. They actually started 11 of 22, but 3 for their last 9.
Well, the difference is Wisconsin tightens up inside. They haven't given up as much dribble penetration as they did at the outset. And now Bowling Green is settling for jump shots.
Wisconsin has a lot of players who are coming back with some experience, especially in that starting 5 this year. And it's really thrusted them offensively. To take a look at what they have returning for Coach Ryan. Percentage of assists from last year, minutes, points, and of course rebounds. And then, Rich, what's really been impressive is a lot of other players really improving their numbers in that category, or those categories right there.
Well, you lose 3 key seniors, so roles change for players. As we mentioned before, Decker, who deferred to some seniors last year, has to become more of the offensive output.
Here's Kaminsky, great feed, and Frank Kaminsky will go to the line as Trayvon wanted to get an assist there. Kaminsky will have to earn it at the line with 5 seconds to go here in the first half.
People ask, how do coaches earn their money? There's an example right there. You come out of a dead ball situation. Coach Ryan has drawn up a great play. Now he gets Kaminsky a wide open shot. Bowling Green forced to foul.
Tisdale picked up the foul. That's his first. And Kaminsky now with 7. So it's reined in the scoring a little bit for Frank Kaminsky. He's putting some points up on the board now as he has 8. Grinnell's Jack Taylor had, 103, and last night put out 3. Frank doing a little bit better than that as a shot at the horn. Left it high and hard for Javon Clark, and that will be the end of the first half. So Wisconsin really flexing their muscles here. They've got a 44-28 lead as we go to intermission. As we'll return with more here from the Kohl Center in Madison here on ESPN3. We're at the half. Wisconsin with a 44-28 lead over Bowling Green as you're looking at some future Badgers or Globetrotters. Your pick. As Wisconsin really showing up strong in the late part of the first half, Rich. It was getting really impressive because they were able to do it from what they're very good at, and that's shooting the three.
They're playing faster, but they're still efficient. Only 2 turnovers for the half. Unbelievable number on the offensive efficiency. 1.76 points per possession. That's phenomenal.
Well, this is really the opening of the seasonal tournament. It's, as we take a look at the national news and notes, there's a big upset there at the bottom of your screen earlier today. Northeastern upset Georgetown 63-56. Spencer leading the way there with 18-9. Other news and notes, well, the recruiting, the signings continue to happen. Duke's recruiting class, amazing. And the rich get richer again as Justice Winslow picks Duke over others.
Are we surprised? Another top 20 guy decides to go to Duke?
Well, they also got the number 1 in Jalil Okafor, number 4 in Tyus Jones, and also number 24 to boot in Grayson Allen as far as for your class there.
Let's go back to the Northeastern upset over Georgetown. Mark my words, that's the mid-major team to watch this year. Bill Cohen has done a fantastic job at Northeastern. They'll be the threat to win the Colonial this year.
Well, you just saw there, too, that North Carolina going to be missing a couple of players, in Belmont with a big upset, too, already this season. North Carolina kind of hurting, trying to go into their tournament this weekend, trying to pick up some momentum. But, Rich, they're kind of struggling here right now.
Now, the question, when you leave 2 players at home, you have to have other guys step up. So we'll see how North Carolina responds.
We're at the half here at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin. The Badgers have a 44-28 lead. More when we return. (44-28) Wisconsin with the lead on Bowling Green. Earlier this week, Wisconsin, when they saw the AP poll come out, they moved up 8 spots and looking to move up more, as in the first half they were very dominant here against Bowling Green, getting it done. But Bowling Green played tough early on here with Cameron Black.
Well, the senior Cameron Black taking it inside with post moves and the whirling dervish for an easy one. And again, point blank, 5 for 7 from the floor. A bright spot for Bowling Green. On the flip side, Wisconsin, it rains threes. Jackson, Koenig, 5 different players will knock down threes in the first half. 5 of the 8 players, as you see Brust knocking one down. And for good measure, let's bring the guy off the bench, the post guy, Dukan, with a three.
Well, here's your first half numbers here so far. You see field goal percentage pretty high for both teams. 3-point numbers, though, it's owned by Wisconsin, 7 of 13. And points in the paint, yeah, Bowling Green owns that. But off the bench, Wisconsin looks pretty good here, too. Winning that margin 11-6.
Bowling Green got it halfway right. Coach Louis Orr wants to play inside out. They got 18 points in the paint. They talked about limiting the three-point looks for Wisconsin. They didn't do a good job on the defensive end. Wisconsin makes them pay. And if you're going to trade 2 for 3, you're going to lose every game.
What about this Big Ten race this year now with Wisconsin? Rich, you got to see him for a half here. You see what's been happening in the Big Ten so far this season. This league has been very, very strong. And, you know, Wisconsin, I think, is going to have a huge role in it as we move towards the conference season. But first, they got to go through this Cancun Challenge. I mean, this is part of the season, I think, where we see these holiday tournaments, but the best really come out here.
Well, and Wisconsin has been Mr. Consistency since Bo Ryan came to town. They have finished in the top 4 every single year in the Big Ten. This year, maybe it looked with some graduations that maybe it wouldn't happen, but they arguably have the best wins in the Big Ten right now. A win over Florida, a win over St. John's, a win against, and I'm drawing a blank on this, you're going to help me. Wisconsin, Green Bay on the road, the favorite to win the Horizon this year. So, very good start for Wisconsin.
Well, the Big Ten actually owns 4 combined wins over the Power 6 that everybody talks about, the Power 6 conference. Wisconsin, as you mentioned, has 2 of those wins. When we come back, more here from the Kohl Center as we're at the half. Wisconsin up big here on Bowling Green. Bowling Green 28, Wisconsin 44 as we're here at the half. And it's been a big first half here so far out of the sophomore from Sheboygan, Sam Decker, leading the way here for Wisconsin last year. An honorable mention, Big Ten player, and made the all-freshman team. And so far here in the first half with 9, and he's been all over the floor.
He beats you in so many different ways. He can make the perimeter jump shot there. You see him taking it right to the rim, using his left hand. That young man was one of the most highly sought-after recruits for Bo Ryan's era here.
Well, of course, this year, starting to get some national recognition, too, as well. Has been named to the Naismith and Wooden Award watch list. And we've seen why so far here in the first half.
But one of the keys, if you're going to be a successful coach here at Wisconsin, is you have to close the borders. You have to keep your best players home. Sam Decker stayed home. Good sign for the Badgers.
Wisconsin with the lead here on Bowling Green as we're at the half. More when we return here on ESPN3. Wisconsin with a 44-28 lead here on Bowling Green as we're about ready to get the second half underway. The Badgers closing the first half on a 21-6 run to have the advantage here. Well, for the Falcons this year, last year going 13-19 overall, 7-9 in the MAC. Your top returning scorer not playing here tonight. Chauncey Orr out with a knee injury. They lost Calhoun and Crawford, who had been big for them. But they did have 3 returning starters. And, as far as for the MAC East standings predicted to finish 6th, as the MAC somewhat top-heavy out in the West, too, as well. So Bowling Green, I think, might be better than that 6th-place prediction out in the East.
Well, what we're seeing here tonight is not their full contingent of players as we take a look at Chauncey Orr, the coach's son, who, as you mentioned, was the leading returning scorer. So you need him badly, and he'll be back hopefully next week.
Here's Black inside, can't get the roll, and the rebound comes down to Wisconsin. Out on the floor for the Badgers to begin the second half. Bruss, Jackson, Decker, Gosser, and Kaminsky. Now for Bowling Green, it's Henderson, Parker, Clark, Holmes, and Black. Inside, Decker has it stolen away. That's Henderson up with it into the front court. Bowling Green goes inside. Here's Black. Checked out, I beg your pardon. It was Holmes who came up short there. Now Kaminsky. And we picked up by Parker. Hard spin and has it rejected away. Skying that time was Rashawn Holmes. Last year it was 73 blocks in the season. Getting a big swat there.
Shot blockers go up, avoid contact. Rashawn Holmes, the long arm of the law, reaches over.
Very dangerous coming from that backside. As Gosser will get it into Bruss. He'll take it strong to the hoop. Bruss checking in with 8 so far in the game. That was our first bucket here of the late half. And this one will stay with Bowling Green. For the Falcons, Rich, what do they need to do to try to work this lead down a little bit?
You got to just try and continue to do what you've been doing on the offensive end, which is inside out, try and peck away one basket at a time, but you got to get better on the defensive end.
How about the drive and finish there by Javon Clark, the junior out of Canton.
That's what we saw early in the game. Clark able to get all the way to the rim to start the half.
16-point ball game. Decker avoided the double team there. Now we'll get it on the return. How about Wisconsin from the perimeter?
Let's have our 6'8" guy step out behind NBA range. And you look at it at your coach when you're the defensive player. Coach, I didn't think he was going to shoot it.
That's always tough to explain, isn't it?
Well, you present different obstacles. When you can put a Kaminsky and a Decker, or your 4 and your 5 are shooting threes, it stretches the defense.
Bowling Green has yet to hit a 3. Now a steal. Henderson trying to drive it, can't finish it. Black with a rebound, put back. Not there, and Kaminsky will haul it down for Wisconsin. Out ahead in the tip out. It will stay with the Badgers. And Wisconsin will go to their bench here. Checking in will be Nigel Hayes, as Decker will go to the bench. Hayes with a good first half for the freshman. $19-point Badger lead. Here's Kaminsky. A great entry pass there from Brust. And Frank Kaminsky will go to the line.
Bowling Green foul, number 22, Holmes, the team's second. And the line for the Badgers, Frank Kaminsky.
So the 7-foot junior towing the line. Came into the night averaging 17.3 per game. And shooting about 80%, a little less now after that miss from the foul line. And able to go 1 out of 2. It's a 20-point lead now, as Kaminsky has 9 in the game. Decker leading the way for the Badgers with 12. Cameron Black pacing Bowling Green with 10. Now inside, Henderson can't finish it, but will go to the line to shoot 2 here as it drew contact up in the air. And that foul will be going against Kaminsky. That's his second.
No, Bowling Green, even though, look at Wisconsin, you have 4 guys in the paint, yet Henderson is still able to penetrate to the basket and draw the foul.
Henderson short on the free throw there. And the Badgers also go to their bench as Bronson Koenig will come into the game. Koenig, of course, the 2013 Wisconsin High School Player of the Year. And Brust will get the rebound as Bowling Green comes up empty from the foul line.
Those are the silent turnovers in a game. When you get a point-blank look, you get the foul, and you make 0 of 2 from the line.
Badgers have outboarded Bowling Green 20-15. Here's Jackson. Kaminsky going to work it on the block. Now we'll pass out of it. 2 on the shot clock. There's Brust. Hits one at the buzzer.
Okay, for all you old Badger fans, that is a perfect Bo Ryan possession. 34 seconds on the shot clock and a wide open shot for an easy basket.
You know, when they traveled to Canada, they played that 5-game tour. They went 4-1 and actually lost to the eventual national champion of Canada in Carleton. But they only had a 24-second shot clock, so that was tough. So maybe it prepared them here for this season, and that's maybe why they're playing at a rapid pace. But here, you're right. They're back to the old style.
Actually, that's very true. It certainly had some influence. And once again, Clark gets right to the rim.
A little pressure here put on by Bowling Green.
So 1-2-1-1 press. They'll fall back normally into their 2-3.
As Kaminsky will get the bucket now as they break down the defense.
Smart play by Wisconsin. Break the press. Don't settle for a jump shot. Get something right at the rim.
3 players in double figures for Wisconsin. Decker with 12, 11 each for Brust and Kaminsky. And now a foul here called against Wisconsin. It was an early top 25 matchup for Wisconsin. They were victorious against Florida. Out of the SEC, when we come back, we'll take a look back when we return. Here's a look back. It was the opening game of the season against SEC Beast Florida, the toughest opponent to visit the Kohl Center in decades. Wisconsin didn't have an answer for the Gators. Michael Frazier, the second in the opening 8 minutes. Frazier 5 of 8 in the first half, including 3 of 4 from three-point range to help the Gators to a 16-4 lead. But then Sam Decker shook off early tight defense to help Wisconsin finish the half on a 25-10 run and a 3-point lead. Decker finished with 16. Trayvon Jackson added 13, including a floater at the foul line with 8 seconds left. And they defeated number 11 Florida 59-53. And how about the notable non-conference opponents this year for Coach Bo Ryan and his Wisconsin Badgers?
BJ, do I see a trend here? They had the closing run against Florida in the first half. They did the same thing to North Dakota. They did the same thing here tonight. They are so good at focus in the last 5 minutes of the half.
And they just keep on coming at you, whether it's from the perimeter or it's just they're passing. All 5 players can score. There's head coach Lewis Orr of Bowling Green. You know, he has 500 victories in college basketball as a player and as a coach. And tonight, he knew it was going to be a tough night. There's a lot of guys out of the lineup for him. Now a push here called against Holmes.
Wisconsin very lucky to get the ball across half court. Actually a heads-up play by Sam Decker, realizing there was only 2 seconds left on the 10 count.
Holmes picking up his 3rd personal foul. So out on the floor here for Bowling Green, it's Henderson, Parker, Clark, and Black, along with Seeley. Now for Wisconsin, Hayes, Jackson, Decker, Gossert, and Koenig. So Gossert will be running the point. Wisconsin working it. Now inside of 10 on the shot clock. Here's Koenig on the drive. Pulls up. How about that 13-footer? Wisconsin doing it in a variety of ways. They've got a 57-33 lead. Here's Parker. And now Jackson will drive it. ahead. Here's Parker.
Basket by Parker.
And a quick 2 on the other end after the missed shot.
Bowling Green now getting back into the 1-2-1-1 press after made field goals besides made free throws.
It's almost as if Wisconsin, they'll go burst at you and then they'll lay back. Burst and lay back. Here's Decker. And of course they can board it. Gosser draws contact and gets the hoop.
Here you're going to see Sam Decker with a little rodeo shot, but Bronson Koenig hustled to keep it alive, and then Gosser right down the pike. Notice on that shot, BJ, Gosser's eyes never left the rim. Bowling Green players coming over, swinging at him, but his eyes never dipped. They stayed on the rim the entire time. So if you're a young player, understand that contact's going to come. Always keep your eyes on the rim.
Gosser able to connect there. He's got 5 in the game along with 5 rebounds. And Dukin is now back into the ball game. As here's Tisdale. JD on the drive, now to Sealy. Off the mark and the rebound to Brust. Brust on the drive, can't get it to fall. And here comes Bowling Green. They've got numbers. Parker gets his own rebound back and will put it through.
Wisconsin a little slow in transition. Bowling Green takes advantage.
Little pressure trying to force the turnover. And the Falcons get it. And they'll finish it with Parker. Little flurry here by Spencer Parker. He's got 7 in the game. Now Dukin. Oh, wide open. Why not? Brust will finish it.
38% career three-point shooter. I got an open look. I'm definitely going to drain it.
Wisconsin tonight, 10 of 16 from 3-point range. Quick math, 63%. Amazing job from the perimeter. You see Bowling Green just, their numbers are down compared to Wisconsin. And we've got some substitutions into the ball game. Again, out on the floor for Wisconsin, it's Brust, Decker, Gosser, Koenig, and Kaminsky. For Bowling Green, Tisdale. And the big shot from the side, Henderson puts it down. He's also on the court by Sealy, Clark, and Holmes. So there's a 3 knocked down by Bowling Green. Inside, Kaminsky left open. Might have been 2 open as he takes a big giant step there. And Frank Kaminsky. A turnover there, 6 on the night for Wisconsin. As Henderson will work it in, draws contact again, can't get the shot to fall, but Kaminsky will pick up the foul. That is going to be his 3rd inside the play when we return as Wisconsin has the big lead. 63-42, Wisconsin with the advantage here on Bowling Green with 11:48 to play. Let's go inside the play, and Wisconsin always known for their spacing, Rich.
Well, great offensive teams create angles through their spacing. And here you can see Wisconsin, good people movement. You got 4 guys outside the three-point line, and it makes the defenders have to go a little further. There you saw the great spacing, helped defense from coming over and stopping dribble penetration, and the easy pull-up jump shot.
Well, it makes it easy for everybody. You know, tonight, 7 of 8 players that have attempted a field goal are shooting about 50% or better. And it all comes because they're open, right?
Absolutely. They have not taken, I can count on one hand the number of tough shots they have taken tonight. And it's because when you space the floor like Wisconsin does, the closeout, the run by a defensive help side defender is much longer, thus creating more wide open shots. It's an important second free throw here for, obviously they need the points, but a made free throw and they can get into their full court pressure.
Henderson able to connect, as he has 6 in the game. See Bowling Green forcing the turnover here. Now the dump down to Clark. Pretty reverse layup as he had Decker on his hip.
Credit to Coach Orr. His kids have not quit. They're going after it.
And trying to get the steal there was Seeley. He'll pick up the foul.
Seeley went after it. Unfortunately got a little bit too much arm.
That's his second. And now Seeley, we mentioned, with his second. Substitutions coming into the ball game here for Bowling Green. On the floor again, Tisdale, Henderson, Seeley, Clark, and Holmes. For Wisconsin, Brust, Hayes, Decker, Gossert, and Koenig. Trying to work with it here is Koenig, and he'll draw the contact, and the foul going against Tisdale. Could you almost chalk up that foul right there to the new rule, if you will?
Nah, that's just flat out a guy didn't move his feet.
I think
I'd like to say it, but he hit him with his shoulder. I can't say that's the new rule. That was even called in the old days.
Another quick foul here on Bowling Green. I think there's been such an overemphasis on the rule change, guarding on the perimeter, that I think everybody at home goes, is that a new rule? Is that
you know, in watching Wisconsin tonight and watching some of their previous games, I think they've adjusted to the new rule by allowing more dribble penetration. They're not getting called for hand checks because they went to the opposite extreme. So they're a work in progress. They'll get better on the defensive end at limiting dribble penetration. But right now, it's like, I don't want to get in foul trouble with a ticky-tack reach.
Second personal called against Henderson. Here's Gosser at the line. And he's able to hit the free throw here. Wisconsin from the line tonight, 10 of 12. And able to hit both of them there. And the Badgers in the bonus the rest of the way. A 20-point lead here, nearing the 11-minute mark to go in the game. Here's Clark in the lane. So Clark now in double figures. And trying to come up with a steal there. There's Hayes to Koenig inside. Decker has it taken away. Here come the Falcons. Skip pass ahead to Tisdale. Oh, and the finish. The trailer, Anthony Henderson.
Bowling Green creating offense from their defense.
Wisconsin with 8 turnovers here. Bowling Green just 3. And able to get 9 points off of those turnovers so far that they've forced. Here's Brust. Now Gosser on the drive. And he'll have to earn them at the line.
Bowling Green foul, number 3, Parker.
And picking up the foul, that's Spencer Parker. That'll be his third. Now the foul's starting to mount here on Bowling Green as they've increased the pressure on the ball. 10 minutes to play. Wisconsin to the line again.
When you start gambling and start reaching, you give up a little bit more dribble penetration, and Gosser taking advantage.
And for the Badgers, Frank Kaminsky. For Nigel Hayes, Trayvon Jackson.
Frank Kaminsky now back in here for Wisconsin. Kaminsky 4 of 6 from the field with 11 points. Ben Brust leading the way for Wisconsin with 14. And Gosser adding a couple of free throws here. As he's a perfect 5 of 5 from the line. 9 points on the night. Parker trying to drive it. Boy, Jackson went for the steal and left Parker wide open there along the baseline. And hit the unorthodox shot. 16-point game, 9:37 to play. Now Decker left alone. And this one will belong to Bowling Green.
Not necessarily the shot you're looking for if you're Wisconsin. Break the press. Don't settle for the jump shot. Decker settled on that possession.
Parker driving it again. Gets it blocked by Kaminsky. And then Holmes is fouled here on the backside by Gosser.
I got to tell you, the Bowling Green offense is not in panic mode. They've done a good job, even though they've been trailed by over 20 points. They have stayed within their offense in the half court, and they've chipped away courtesy of good offense and some timely defense.
And a foul here on Kaminsky. And he'll pick up his 4th. And now, for the rest of the way, Bowling Green will be in the bonus. Here comes Nigel Hayes, the freshman. And Holmes will be at the line. First trip tonight for Rashawn Holmes, a 60% free throw shooter on the year. A 15-point ball game here with 9:15 to play. And Holmes able to hit both.
Here comes pressure again.
What's the magic number here as the time starts to dwindle down here for Bowling Green to really put themselves in better contention?
You get to that next TV timeout around the 5-minute mark. If you're within 10, then you're right in. Now the pressure starts to shift to Wisconsin to maintain their offense.
Brust fouled on the play. And that one going against J.D. Tisdale. And that'll be Tisdale's 3rd. So Brust at the line, a 90% free throw shooter on the year, and hits his first one here. Big night tonight for the senior.
When Brust isn't working on his free throws, he's a NASCAR spotter. How about that? Spent the summer spotting for Brendan Goggin on the NASCAR circuit.
Well, if you're an enthusiast, what a better job, right?
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Might have got a little into the fast lane. Here's Gosser leading the charge. And has it blocked by Tisdale, but a foul, and Gosser will be at the line to shoot 2.
Anything happening? You're good.
So the double bonus the rest of the way here for Bowling Green.
Basket's good by Josh Gosser.
They counted the hoop. And Gosser No, they're going to say that it was a goaltending call and not a foul. Gosser thought, okay, I'm going to the line. I'm going to try to add some more to it. But it's going to be ruled a goaltend. And Gosser will pick up another deuce here. He's in double figures with 11. Make that 4 Badgers in double figures. Here's Tisdale underneath. Holmes got it too low, but is fouled. Reached in upon. Let's take a look at that goaltending play once again.
The third rule change is the goaltending call. And as you can see, if any part of the ball is above the rim, it's called the goaltending. In the past, the entire ball had to be above the rim. So changing the rule works for Wisconsin.
Bronson Koenig will come back into the ball game here for Gosser. At the line, a miss out of the 1-on-1 by Holmes. And here come the Badgers again with a 71-53 lead. Lead had gotten all the way down to 14 points. And Wisconsin really holding Bowling Green here at double arm's length. As Nigel Hayes contacted. Let's take a look at that blocking rule here. As here's how it reads in the rule book. Violation, ball on or within the basket or backboard, and any part of the ball that is above the rim.
That's what was the call on that possession. A year ago, good block. Tonight, not so much.
Tisdale will check out. As he had picked up his 4th personal foul there. And Wisconsin back up by 19. There's a deep 3, and it's off by Parker. Here's Decker working the baseline, the reverse. Oh my goodness. Sam Decker gets that one to go down. So we've got a timeout on the floor. 7:51 to play. Pretty move and finish by Decker. (74-53) Wisconsin with the lead here on Bowling Green with 7:51 to play here in the ball game. And we've seen some pretty good defense put on the floor here tonight, but trying to hang in this ball game, and a lot of effort here put out by Bowling Green.
Early season as a coach, you always wonder, how will your team handle adversity? What will they do when you get behind? Bowling Green has battled all night long and has shown in the second half some impressive moments on a defensive end. They just have to string them together to try and cut into this lead. But their full court pressure has bothered Wisconsin. They just haven't been able to string enough of those possessions together.
The Badgers so far tonight with 12 assists on the 24 field goals that they've made. Bowling Green just 6 of 24. But that's a Badger number right there. I mean, the number of assists that they have. Here's Decker at the line trying to convert the three-point play. And the rebound comes down to Cam Black, and here comes the Falcons. Here's Henderson. Can't get the runner in the lane, and the rebound to Hayes. Now trying to drive at Trayvon Jackson. He'll draw a foul and an N1 opportunity here.
You want to see the new rule in action? There it is right there. The little bump. Once Trayvon Jackson got his shoulders in front of the defender, it was good night. In the old days, you might have been able to bump him off line, but not anymore.
Trayvon able to hit the free throw, and he now is in double figures. After that make from the field and the free throw, now with 11 on the night. Now from the top. Three goes a little bit long, and the rebound tracked down by Nigel Hayes. Well, second time this season, Wisconsin has sent 5 players in double figures. They did it on opening night against St. John's as Decker goes inside, and the rebound to Black. Out ahead. And the layup goes through for Spencer Parker. 22-point game here. 6:55 to play. Badgers notoriously over the last 12 years have been rude hosts. 74% of their wins here at home have been by double figures or more. And tonight, looks like we're headed that way as the tradition continues. Here's Decker. Now to Parker. Gets it underneath. Gets the hoop and the arm, and will go to the line to try to convert the three-point play here.
Parker doing a good job in transition. Gets it back. He's had a good night as a replacement for Chauncey Orr.
So the free throw numbers on the night. You see Wisconsin 17 of 21. And Parker able to convert here. Just a 46% free throw shooter on the year. Didn't look like that on that shot. And Trayvon Jackson bumped, and that will send him to the line. Well, it's kind of like a high school reunion here tonight as J.D. Tisdale will check out. But a lot of kids out of the Ohio area. You've got Trayvon Jackson, went to Westerville South High School. Well, he had a backcourt mate sitting on the bench there, DeMarcao Lish. Those two were the backcourt for Westerville South High School. In fact, were best friends in high school. Traded a lot of texts, tweets, used the social media a lot between the two. And of course, out of Bowling Green High School, you just saw Chauncey Orr, who's on the bench. He and Vito Brown, who suits up for Wisconsin, both out of Bowling Green High School. Of course, Chauncey, a senior, Vito Brown, a sophomore. 2 years apart. J.D. Tisdale out of the ball game with that 5th foul there. Checks out with 2 points on the night. 20-point ball game here inside of 6 minutes to play.
This is where Wisconsin will space the floor, milk the clock. They understand time, score, and situation.
Now from the top, that's Koenig. Bring it up, first time, back-to-back games of 80 points or more since December of 2012, in which Wisconsin scored 81 against Cal and 86 against Omaha. Then a blocking foul here called on Wisconsin. As you take a look at the field goal numbers from beyond the arc.
BJ, what's impressive about those numbers is we're not talking about 1 or 2 guys who have made threes. We're talking about 5 different players who have scratched from the three-point line.
Well, Brust leading the charge here tonight, 4 or 5 from downtown.
Frank Kaminsky.
Is at the foul line here is Javon Clark. Now Frank Kaminsky is back in for Nigel Hayes, who gets a good hand as he checks out. The freshman on the night with 4 points. Now the rebound to Gosser. Inside of 5:12 to play. Here's Jackson posting up. Out of the corner, Koenig. And the rebound lost out of bounds. It will go to Bowling Green.
And for Bowling Green.
Well, here comes into the ball game now for Bowling Green is DeMarcao Lish, high school teammate of Trayvon Jackson. So Lish getting into the ball game here. And he just heard a few moments ago on the floor.
It was Trayvon Jackson
saying,
said, "Don't let him touch the ball." Thought he was his best friend.
They might have something to say about that here, post-game wise. As now Bowling Green trying to go to work with Parker here. In the lane, gets his own putback. And it's back to a 20-point contest.
I like the tenacity of Parker. He just keeps going after it.
Here's Jackson. And he's fouled by Lish. As the two share a little conversation, a little John there. As Jackson will be at the line.
How many times do you think that happened over the years when they were at Westerville South? A little one-on-one game trying to make each other better?
And Jackson able to connect on the free throw.
And for Bowling Green, 0, Josh Gomez replaces Cloud.
Ben Brust leading the way for the Badgers here tonight with 16, 14 by Decker, and 13 by Jackson. As he goes 1 out of 2 from the line there. This is the opening game, if you will, of the Cancun Challenge. As Clark's able to hit the 14-footer. Up next for Wisconsin, a matchup against Oral Roberts on Saturday. And then they actually travel to Cancun as they'll face St. Louis. And of course, in the next game, it'll be the either West Virginia or Old Dominion. Shot clock starting to wind down here. Inside of 10. Koenig working against Lish. Fires up a 17-footer. Rattled in and out. Parker with a board. Now Parker driving it in will draw contact and will drive us to a timeout on the floor. 3:13 to play here in the game. Wisconsin up large. let's take a look at Wisconsin's upcoming schedule. Of course, we mentioned on Saturday, Oral Roberts, St. Louis, then the potential of facing either West Virginia or Old Dominion. How about on December 4th on ESPN? They've got a matchup at Virginia. And then on the 7th, they turn around and face Marquette. That's a tough road ahead.
Not a lot of time for preparation. And Oral Roberts, one of the perennial NCAA teams, coached by Scott Sutton, son of Eddie Sutton. Of course, West Virginia, coached by Bob Huggins. And Virginia was led by Tony Bennett, a former assistant here at Wisconsin. And obviously Dick Bennett's son, and doing an outstanding job at Virginia.
Well, a lot of teams are now what you call scheduling up. They've heard from the NCAA committee. And Wisconsin doing that. Overall, they're going to play 23 games against teams that played in the postseason last year. In fact, 13 games against NCAA teams. So Bo Ryan made it a point of emphasis. You know, probably figured he had a pretty decent team, but really wanted to build up that RPI, and he's really doing that here with this schedule this year.
Well, it's important for a team from a power conference like Wisconsin who can get into the NCAA by finishing at least 500 in their conference to try and build up some non-conference wins so that their seeding is better. If you can get into that 1 through 4 seeding, you have a much better chance of advancing. So you do that by beating good teams.
What was your philosophy as a head coach, especially in these holiday tournaments? I mean, trying to get into one, did you pick it, or did you wait for them to come to you? How did you do it, Rich?
You know, it's a little different sometimes. It just depends on the tournament. You know, a tournament like the Maui Classic, and there you see Kaminsky with a nice use of his left hand. But, you know, there's certain tournaments like the Maui Classic that are drafting teams. They want certain teams to come there. You know, the Battle of Atlantis now has become a very good tournament. The Cancun Challenge has had some great teams in it over the last 4 or 5 years. Virginia played in it a couple years ago. Kentucky with John Wall won it about, 4 years ago now. So it's going to be an outstanding field down in Cancun with Wisconsin.
Bowling Green coming into the game for the first time with Josh Gomez, the sophomore from Bronx. From the Bronx, and the rebound here comes down to Wisconsin and Ben Brust, who's had a big night tonight, especially in the second half. 16 for the game.
And you wonder if Josh Gomez got a little bit of scouting report from his high school coach, Maurice Hicks, who is actually a member of the St. John's staff now.
Here's Brust. Kaminsky with a rebound. And this one goes to Gomez and Bowling Green. Here's Lish. Parker looking to drive it. Trying to go inside, and it's turned over.
There's a case right there, BJ. The offensive player for Bowling Green was getting inside position, ready to rebound the ball. Parker, get the ball up on the rim. The rim's always open. Let your teammate rebound the miss.
Now Vito Brown coming into the game here for Wisconsin. Also in is Jordan Hill, the freshman out of Pasadena, California. There's a three, and it's good by Brust. What a big night he's had tonight. 19 in the game now, and he's 5 of 6 from downtown. That's a season high for points for Ben Brust.
As we talked about it at the outset, a different player can hurt you on any given night with Wisconsin. Brust having the night tonight. Kaminsky last game.
1:20 to play. Here's Clark. Back out, that's Parker. Gomez with the board. And the rebound comes down to Brust. The timeout going to be taken by Wisconsin as they try to go with some quick substitutions. It's a full timeout here. 1:09 to play. Wisconsin up 88-64 here on Bowling Green. 88-64, Wisconsin with the lead on Bowling Green with 1:09 to play here in the game, as the Badgers have been shooting lights out from the perimeter, 60% here for the game, 12 of 20. Bowling Green just 1 of 8. Well, the longest active streaks for NCAA tournament appearances, yes, Wisconsin is in the top 5 with 15 straight. And speaking of the NCAA tournament, they're going to honor longtime official Eddie Hightower here at the Kohl Center.
And will be retired in December after 36 years as an official.
Rich, how many times does an official get a standing ovation at a ball game? Eddie Hightower.
That's the first standing ovation I ever gave to an official. 25 years of coaching, I don't think I ever did it, except for maybe to stand and criticize a call or two.
Evan Anderson now into the ball game here for Wisconsin, along with Zach Bohannon, as we're inside of 53 seconds to play here. Anderson puts it on the floor, as here's Hill. He'll work with it now inside of 10 on the shot clock. Wisconsin up big, 88-64. There's Hill. Deep shot, in and out, and the rebound to Bowling Green. Here come the Falcons. Lish the three. And Bohannon with the board. The shot clock is off, and Wisconsin will dribble this one out. The Badgers will take home another victory, 5-0 to start the year. The Falcons going to be falling to 1-2. And a big night tonight for Ben Brust, a season high 19 points. 4 other Badgers finish in double figures. Kaminsky and Decker with 14 apiece, 13 by Jackson, 11 by Gosser, and 10 by Koenig. 88-64, Wisconsin getting it done here tonight.
Too many weapons for the Badgers. Outstanding three-point shooting led to demise for Bowling Green.
So for Rich Savosik, I'm BJ Sabin saying so long from Madison, Wisconsin, where the final score sees the Badgers winning 88-64. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watch ESPN.com. This has been a presentation of ESPN.